Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Taylor, owner of Moon Apothecary, and today I would like to talk about crystals. So, crystals are a really big thing in the spiritual community, and there's a lot of misinformation out there and a lot of taboo ideas. So I say that because a lot of people attribute healing qualities to crystals. And to some people, especially the more scientific minded, it can seem kind of out there or not realistic and like we are delusional people, but I promise you there is a little more science actually to back crystals. So I want to start out by first saying that crystals have this special structure to their atoms and their molecules that it actually synchronizes to each other. And other objects, like regular glass, would actually have a more chaotic molecular structure, whereas crystals, like I said, are more synchronized. So that is just one evidential fact that can back the healing properties of crystals. And so there's another thing that I love about quartz specifically, but when you put quartz underwater or under pressure, it actually literally sends out electricity. And so there have been a lot of studies done with quartz causing electricity and putting it out like that and using it to power things. So that's pretty cool. So, I mean, there is some real science behind crystals, but more so not talking about science today. I actually wanted to share some of my crystals with you guys. So, here's some amethyst. Amethyst is quartz that like creates this purple hue within itself, and it's quite beautiful. Amethyst is one of the most known crystals and is really easy to work with, in my opinion. It kind of forms its energy to anything that you need, really. Like quartz in general, it is a very subjective stone where you can take it and you can really just put your energy into it, your intentions, your thoughts, and goals, and it will help make them for you. So that's what I love about quartz. But amethyst specifically works on the crown chakra because it's purple. So your crown chakra is located on your crown, literally, and it helps with knowing, wisdom, dreams, like deep purple, calming peace. So when I hold this crystal, that's what I feel. I feel this overwhelming, just purple waterfall of peace. Yeah. So I love to have amethyst next to my pillow at night. Always. This is the one I actually keep next to my pillow. For a long time, I kept one underneath my pillow because I had horrible nightmares, and amethyst really just absorbed it. And actually, like, it was under my pillow, and I guess my bed moved and it fell, and so kind of broke a little bit. So I feel like that was really symbolic for my nightmares kind of just breaking and going away. So that was really cool. Haven't had too many nightmares yet since, but have had some. So then this is just regular clear quartz. It's not super clear, but you can see through it. So this is my mama crystal. My mother-in-law gave it to me when I got pregnant with my son, so that was beautiful. But quartz, like I said, it's a really generalized stone. Really any quartz, you can just put your intention into it and let it manifest. I will say with crystals specifically, keep an eye out for the color. And purples are good for higher chakras, reds, darker colors are good for the lower chakras like that. But honestly, with crystals, just use your intention, go with what feels right. If you feel like a yellow stone is more healing for your crown chakra, then go for it. That brings me to stilbite. I love stilbite so much. This is yellow stilbite. It's beautiful. And this is pink stilbite. So if you can see that there. Quite beautiful crystals. Now, these are really soft crystals. Not soft as in like a pillow soft, but they can break easily. Typically crystals with ite on the end, celestite, stilbite, fluorite, those kinds of crystals you can't actually cleanse with water because they'll break really easily, especially selenite. I've noticed that a lot. So don't cleanse with water. Don't cleanse these crystals with water. But stilbite is really good for releasing and manifesting. So I've noticed that, this yin and yang opposites attract thing is really embodied in stilbite. So it helps with the solar plexus chakra being yellow, where you are having your personal power, your personality is. So you are manifesting your dreams in this life. So that's what this yellow stilbite is for. And, I got this at like summer of 2019, so last year. And I was just trying to find my balance, find my center, find what I really need to drive my passion into. And so this has really helped bring that out into the light for me. And so this is a close companion I keep on my bedside table and meditate with often. I love stilbite, and actually I knew nothing about stilbite until I saw this pink one from a local gem dealer of mine. Love her. Manifestation Minerals. She has some great stuff. You can check her out on Facebook or Instagram. But I saw it and I was like, oh my gosh, I need to have that. I don't know what it's for. I don't know why, but I need to get it. So I got it. And that's typically how I get most of my crystals, actually, is I just see it and I get it. And most of the time, it'll just synchronize and align perfectly with what I need right in that moment. So it's really cool working with crystals because of their synchronicities within themselves. It helps synchronize things in the external world as well. So it's really a internal, external, as above, so below kind of thing, as within, so without. So that's why I love crystals. I want to show you guys a couple of more crystals. So this is lepidolite. So still an ite, so it's a soft crystal, but lepidolite, I've read, is a grandmother's stone. So when I feel this, I can feel like the soft, warm hug of my Nana. And I really feel like this is like a crystal embodiment of her. So it's really funny. Her favorite color was also purple. But those are just my reflections onto it. You can do that with your own crystals and just be like, wow, this reminds me of this other thing in life. And it just makes it all the more special for you. And so lepidolite is really good at aiding in dreams and nurturing your dreams. It helps calm you down, especially when I'm angry or mad or I feel really chaotic and in a different mind space. This really helps with that. I love lepidolite. I got this at a little bookstore in Boone, North Carolina, a couple hours north of where I live. And it was just sitting there on the shelf and I just knew, like with all my other crystals, I love it. So I have had this stone for about 3 years now, and it has just helped calm me so much through my pregnancy and all throughout motherhood and in so many other aspects of my life. I can definitely see how like there's so many grooves in it, and with the different physical aspects of crystals, you can kind of find that synchronizes in your life too. So, life isn't smooth. It isn't tumbled. like some stones are. It's rough and it has jaggedy points and is sparkly sometimes and isn't. So I kind of like to reflect myself onto crystals so they can reflect back on me what I need to heal and amplify that energy. Another one of my favorites, going back to quartz, is spirit quartz. This really is just one of my favorite crystals. And not only because it is just so shimmery, I don't know, I don't have any sunlight out right now because it's raining, but it is just beautifully shimmery. It's also known as fairy quartz. There is spirit quartz and spirit amethyst, which is quartz with just a purple hue, but they're both beautiful, special crystals. They can be kind of rare and expensive, but I got this at a gem show for fairly cheap. But spirit quartz, I feel like, helps connect to other realms, helps connect to the inner world and inner realms within you and higher states of consciousness. And so I love working with fairies. In my line of work, I work with a lot of spirits, a lot of different kinds of spirits. And they occupy a big space in my heart. So having spirit quartz, fairy quartz, it's great to have a companion like this with me. And, when I look at this, I just feel like it's like a crown, a fairy crown. Like this is something that would be worn on a very elegant fairy going down a beautifully dimly lit forest, Beautiful stuff. So fairy quartz aids in manifestation, but divination, connection to other realms. That's mainly what I use it for. It can also aid in like anxiety and depression and really just calming you. I love to touch crystals. Like I said, the roughness or smoothness of a crystal, touching it embeds that in your body. It embeds their energy in you. So when you get to know a crystal, touching it, putting it on certain spots of your body can really help get that energy into you. But even just being around it within your aura, within your space, that's just enough to have crystals affect you. So another crystal, the last one I'm going to talk about today, is lapis lazuli. Now this one is tumbled, but it's still got some grooves in it. I love lapis lazuli, and it's so ancient. I feel like all crystals are ancient, but this really connects me to Egypt. This and malachite are my favorite stones to really connect back into ancient wisdom. And that's because they used them a lot. Lapis lazuli and malachite were some of the most used crystals in makeup, paint, all kinds of things in ancient Egypt and all over the place. So those are just really some great crystals to connect back into past lives and doing divination. I like to think that lapis lazuli works mainly for the third eye chakra, but it also works for the throat chakra because it's blue. But it really amplifies that energy that's just within this whole space right here. It aids in communication, in seeing, especially dreams, but more of like insights and visions and going into other states of consciousness like that. Like I like to astrally project a lot too. So this definitely comes in handy when I do that. Now, one thing I love about lapis lazuli is that it really is a more intense stone, whereas it won't give you everything you need immediately. I feel like you need to spend a little more time with it. I actually wear lapis lazuli all the time. I got this in Asheville. So connecting to some stones, it's like taking some medications. Don't use stones for medications, but it's like sometimes it comes more immediately. The medicine that they give, the wisdom that they give, it comes more immediately. And sometimes it's more drawn out. Like you need to really sit with the stone in your left hand And just breathe and center yourself so you can feel the stone's energy. So if you have a stone, then you can just hold it in your left hand, feel it, you can meditate with it. I recommend cleansing your crystals. So I'll show you how you can do that with smoke medicine. So this is a white sage bundle I ethically sourced from a local store. And you can also burn other herbs, just about any herbs, but all herbs have their own energy, so be sure to cross-reference because that energy will be combined and it can be really good, but they may not mix. So then you can just get the stone in the smoke. So smoke medicine is really good for you, and it's really good for your plants, your crystals, your house, everything. Sage actually has been proven to kill bacteria in the air. Its smoke is. So I think that's really cool. Echinacea smoke is also really interesting, as it has been told in lore that it can help heal headaches. So I love that. You can use Palo Santo. You can use oils, essential oils, herbal infused oils, by like getting some oil and anointing it, rubbing it on the crystal. You can also use tinctures. I use them less often because it is alcohol and I don't really like rubbing alcohol on my crystals. You can also soak them in water or bathe them in salt, like just dry salt, put them underneath the salt. I've done that before. Underneath dirt you can also do as well. You can put smaller crystals on bigger crystals. I like to do that with like little tumble stones I put on a big crystal amethyst that I have, and it will just resonate off of it. Like I said, research what stones you can cleanse in water. Typically ites you cannot, so do not set them in water. I wouldn't even spray water on them. Those would be something that need to soak in like earth, dirt, dry dirt. But so just be careful and do research about your stones. Also, a good way to cleanse it is using light, sunlight, moonlight, that's good, or rain. Also, just do your research and go with what feels right. Like I said, if you feel drawn to a stone or even just an object, go for it. And use it how you feel like you should use it. There is no amount of research that compares to the knowledge that you have within you. So thank you for listening to me talk about crystals. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, please drop them below and follow me on Instagram at Rising Moon Apothecary. Thank you again. Namaste.